type of your data should be consistent and standardized. If you have missing value or invalid value, for example, under gender, we only allow F and F, female and male. What will happen to A? A is an invalid value that we have to replace it with F or F. Now, how do you replace these invalid and missing values? Normally, we will replace it by using mean or average. Or sometimes we replace it by maximum. What is the maximum value? What is the highest value? Say, for example, under the gender, we might have a population of 1,000 people. And out of these 1,000 people, we have only 20% of female, 80% are male. In this case, if you are replacing this invalid value by making use of max, M-A-X, max, then you're going to choose male instead of female. Likewise, in the missing value here, which city should you replace? Which city should you replace? We can also use the highest appearance of certain city, the max. Which one appear the most? Then we replace it with that city name. For example, most of the participants come from Dublin or Paris, maybe. Then we will replace it with Paris. For misfilled value, for example, Italy should fall under country, not city. So in this case, you should replace this value or you should remove this record. How do you decide whether to remove or to maintain the record? Again, it depends on the context. And therefore, in your research, you have to let us know how you are going to deal with each of these missing values and present it in a flow chart like this. This is what you should present in your research report. How you deal with the missing value, how you deal with the variables with missing value or the cases. Variable and cases are different. Okay, variable and cases are different. Cases means this one. This row is a case. This row is a case. And this is another case. Or response from one respondent, we call it as a case. Whereas a variable means the column. For misspellings, you will have to replace it with correct spelling, definitely. And then attribute dependency means this is depending on this one. If let's say teacher means you are not going to be the student means you are not going to be the teacher. Oh, sorry. The student, sorry, this value will be depending on whether you are a teacher or not. If you are a teacher, then you will have number of students under your guidance. If you're not a teacher, for example, the 0 here means you shouldn't have any student here. If you're not a teacher, you shouldn't have any student. So in this case, there is a 0 here, and you still have number of students, which is incorrect. Attribute dependency issue. All these are under data pre-processing that you will have to deal with it. Now, according to one researchers from Cambodia, they are doing big data analytics. They share that for one big data set, they spend about 6 months. 6 months just to do data pre-processing to make sure that they have a correct data set in their analysis. Likewise, for your seniors, the data set that they have got from the ICPSR data set, they have 1,831 from DS8, and they spend 10 weeks to do data pre-processing for information. For missing value, you can use the midpoint in the scale. Like for example, you have a 5-letter scale, agree to strongly disagree. How do you replace the missing value? You can use mean or you can use midpoint in the scale, which is 3, somewhat agree or neutral. You can also use mean value, or you can use random number, or you just remove this variable. If let's say the missing value is more than 30%. So that's why we have something like this. If you have a variable with missing value more than 30% missing, then we will choose to remove it. Remove the variable. So you have to tell us how you deal with all this missing value. Do you replace it with mean, midpoint, random number, or remove the column directly? So the reader will know how to do the pre-processing because they might want to use your way to also cleanse and transform your data. Okay, let's move on to the data analysis. We have different data analysis like t-test, ANOVA, correlation, regression, chi-square, one-way ANOVA, two-way ANOVA, under ANOVA. And all these can be categorized to investigate differences. We have t-test ANOVA. To investigate relationship, we have done this personal relation, whether there's any relationship between A and B, variable A and variable B. That is the most straightforward one. Regression and then non-parametric, we have chi-square. So let's take a look at each one of these. Again, data analysis is used to test your hypothesis, to find out whether your result is significant or not in order to reject your null hypothesis or to accept your alternative hypothesis. Let's refresh on the so-called hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis, we have null hypothesis and also alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is what you are doing now, and null hypothesis is the opposite. For example, we have hypothesis telling us that family economic correlate positively with academic performance. This is what you predicted to happen. Null hypothesis, family economic does not correlate positively with academic performance. It's the other way of alternative hypothesis. And therefore, in your assignment, please don't give me null hypothesis. Don't give me null hypothesis. I repeat, give me one null hypothesis and minus 1 mark in your assignment. I repeat, assignment, no null hypothesis. Don't give me null hypothesis. Let's see null hypothesis in your assignment. One null hypothesis minus 1 mark. End of the day, I don't have to mark your assignment because you have 30 or 40 hypotheses, right? Then I minus 40 marks directly, right? No need to mark your assignment. And why? Because you have so many alternative hypotheses. Null hypothesis is just the other way. So it's like useless to do this. But then you will need to know what does it mean by null hypothesis. And therefore, when you accept means when your result proves that this is correct, this is okay. So you accept this. At the same time, you do the opposite for this one. You reject it, right? When you accept alternative means you reject null. When you reject null means you accept alternative, right? If you reject alternative, do you accept or reject null? When you reject alternative hypothesis, yes, you accept the null. When you reject alternate, you accept the null. When you reject the null, accept alternate is the other way. Very easy, straightforward. Okay, let's take a look at the first analysis that you will have to perform if you are going to collect data from the questionnaire. This is to test to see if multiple questions of level skill survey are reliable, whether your questionnaire set is reliable or not. And this is the guideline. If your contact alpha fall under 0.7, if you have 0.7 and below, then your questionnaire question is questionable. Questionnaire question is questionable. This is compulsory if you are creating new questionnaire by yourself. I repeat, this is compulsory if you are creating questionnaire or survey question by yourself. You need to do this to tell and prove that the questionnaire or the survey question that you have created is reliable for analysis. What does it mean by not reliable? You do not have the chance to do the questionnaire for this semester because you all are going to come up with very funny questions. Though you are testing the same hypothesis, you are going to ask different kind of question. Say, for example, under the same alternative family and economic correlate positively with academic performance. So let's say you're going to create your own questionnaire, right? What question are you going to ask people who want to collect data? Family economic. What question are you going to ask? Okay. What is your parents' job, right? What else? Oh, give me a full sentence. Family salary. What else? How many children? How many children do you have? Yes? How many children do you have? 好，又开始笑了，笑什么？Okay, what else? 不是你讲，不是 no teacher no okay no okay what are you going to ask? How many children? And you're going to distribute the questionnaire to your friends, you know, all the degree students, because you want to find out whether their family economic correlate positive with their performance. How many children? You know what? You really do this, you know, family salary. And people will be asking, family salary including my father, my mother, my elder brother is working now. Does it include that? Oh, so you have to be very specific. What is your parents' salary, right? Do you think that they know this? They don't know. And you have to include what is your parents' salary range? Do you think you know this? Range from maybe range from the lowest 1K to 2K. I think you should know this, right? 2.1K to 3K. At least you know the range, right? And then why do you ask about parents' job? Does this actually tell you anything about the economy? If someone is a cleaner, does it mean that they have very low economy, no money? No. If let's say your parents is a part-timer, does it mean that they have lower salary than a full-timer? This I have to think quick because part-timer earn more than full-timer. Yeah, this is true to me lah. I'm not sure about others lah. Okay, it doesn't tell anything from your parents' job here. Now, when they say someone like sell nasi lemak and a lecturer, doesn't mean the lecturer earn more than those sell nasi lemak. So what can you tell from here? Cannot. That's why when I look at this, I say no, this one no, this one no, and then this one no. Lucky tarot. How many children are there in a family, in your family? Okay, this one can. How many children you have? Oh my God, you have all different sorts of questions. So every week, I really headache to check your seniors' question one by one. From just one hypothesis. Imagine I need to do 10 hypotheses. Each one, two objectives. You know, last time each one, two objectives, two hypotheses. And each hypothesis, you have to come up with minimum 5 questions. So how many questions I have to check? And therefore, okay, if let's say I don't check this, then you tell us your contact alpha. You collect your data, you ask people how many children you have, and then you ask what is your parents' job. When you come back to here, you check. Most of the time, your set of data that you collected using your own survey question will be at questionable level or even poor unacceptable level. Okay? Again, you don't have to do this because the set of questions that you are using now is actually from a group of experts from that organization. So we don't need this because we don't collect our own data. We don't construct our own questionnaire items. We reuse other people's work. Right? So clear, yeah? All right? Don't come and ask me. Don't think we do contact alpha in our report. Wow, I said you go ahead and minus mark directly. Why do you use contact alpha? Why do you use contact alpha? I told you already. What is this used for? Okay, next, t-test. T-test is a type of inferential statistic used to determine if there is a significant difference between two groups. We have two groups here. We want to compare whether there is any difference or not. Okay? There are 3 types of t-tests. One sample t-test, independent 2 sample t-test, and also paired sample t-test. A little bit confusing here. Let's go through very slowly. Before we carry out the data analysis, there is something that you have to make sure, double check. If your data set does not fulfill this qualification, you cannot use this data analysis. And for example, properties put assumption in the research to tell us that we assume that this is true. If you we are using compare alpha means we assume that this questionnaire is created by you. And therefore, we assume that your data set, use the test number one, you have continuous or ordinal scale. Continuous, do you remember the measurement scale, the different level? Continuous means numbers, can be 1, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. You have this 1, 2, 3, 4. What is your ranking? Top 5, top 3, top 2. Randomly selected observation means you randomly select the respondents. Data is normally distributed. Data is normally distributed. That means this one. This is normal distribution in which you have very low at the beginning, very low at the maximum, very low at the minimum, and the highest. Most of the respondents distribution. Abnormal distribution something like this. This is abnormal. For example, this green line, this is skewed to your left hand side, whereas okay, the rest are okay. The rest are the normal distribution in which the highest point is in the middle. The highest point is in the middle. This is normal. Abnormal distribution is something like this. Okay, can you see this graph? It's either skew to the left, positive skew to your left, or negatively skew to your right. This is okay. This is a very nice one. Okay, you can check this by using your SPS. I don't think we have this here. Maybe not first. Let's come back. Okay, next you have large sample size. Now the minimum sample size requirement is 30, in order to carry out the test. But the larger sample size that you have, the more accurate result that you can get. Minimum sample size that you need is 30 to run an analysis. Variances among the group should be equal for independent sample data, so we'll look at this afterwards. But normally all this, okay, you will need to check all these requirements. If all these requirements fulfill, then only you carry out the test. But then in the exam or in the written test, we will not ask you to go and run the analysis to test whether this data set is normally distributed or not, or randomly selected or not. Okay? We will not ask you to do that. You just have to memorize these other assumptions in order for you to run the test. Let me share. Oh yeah, I can share. Because I have login here. I should be able to see it if I'm sharing. Yeah. This is from my laptop. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you can go to analyze, descriptive sensitive frequency, and choose any of this variable. Then in the chart, you can use the histogram. You can also show the normal curve on the histogram. Continue. Then you'll be able to see something like this. Okay, this is the curve. Can you see that? So if you compare to the abnormal scale. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry, no, it's not. No wonder it's not responding. Sorry. Okay, so if you're referring to this is positively skewed or sorry, this is positively skewed or negatively skewed. This is positively skewed or negatively skewed. Can you see the line here? So it's positively skewed or negatively skewed? Positively skewed or negatively skewed? I cannot see that. It's just so small. Yeah, it's positively skewed. Okay, so this variable you cannot use it for the test, right? Then what's the point of? You just use my method now. But this one you cannot enlarge it now, so you cannot see it clearly. Right?那我都忘了我的手要摆哪里。Let me stop my sharing first. 你都手哪里 still there? 139个人在睡觉了呀。你看，它只有一个 10. That's all. Okay, all of the 139 still here. Yes. 我好像病到有点。Okay. I got you. You're still there. 一定 is it? 哎呀，不可能我刚吃饱了还好。Okay, next continue. Let's take a look at different t-tests here. One sample, independent, and pair t-test. Now, one sample t-test, for example, we want to test the average string size, which is 10 cm. Okay, average string size 10 cm. And we have a hypothesis, for example, the manufacturer produce in bulk, right, the mobile phone. And then they have this average string size. I want to test whether your mean string size of the sample differ from 10 cm. Means that I will take a lot of product and I test it and measure. Then I want to see whether I suspect that you do not have a standard string size for every product. I suspect that, so I want to carry out a research. So my alternate hypothesis is that mean string size of your sample is different from 10 cm. I want to prove this. If I successfully prove this, means my accusation is correct. My accusation is true that your product is not standard. Okay, your product is not standard. But I cannot just take one sample. Measure. See, this is 10.1 cm. So it's not, I cannot say that because there are certain defects. I will not say defects, but there are certain. You cannot always say that machine is 100% accurate, right? So we must prove it by using statistics. We take maybe 100 samples, measure, and then we run the test, one sample test, and the statistic will tell us Now, what this is how it looks like your result from one sample t-test after you take perhaps 1,000 or 100 or 500 sample, okay, and then you test it. And after you run one sample t-test from SPSS, you are going to refer to this SIG again. The SIG means significant. Does it significantly different from 10 cm? If it is, you look at this result. Is it significant or not significant? Is it significant? Okay, not significant, correct? Because it is higher than, larger than 0.05. Correct, very good. For independent tools, this is the one sample t-test. Yeah, you take the one sample and then you compare with the average one measurement average. You have this average. I want to compare my sample with this one measurement, one standard measurement. Okay, I compare this group of things with one average screen size measurement. Now let's move on to the second t-test, independent two sample t-test. The two sample t-test is used to compare means of two different samples. Now in this case, you have only one group of sample, right? Just one group only. Yeah, but you compare with one measurement. This one now we have two groups of people. Let's say we have two groups of athletes, and one group is taking placebo, and the other group is taking caffeine. What's placebo? Is it a kind of a diet? Oh, a fat what? The fat. No active. Oh, there's no active property, such as sugar pill. But then it tastes like that, lah. They have certain tests that taste like the caffeine. Oh, okay. I learned something new. Thank you. What is your name? Brandon. Ah, nice to meet you, Brandon. Okay. Now the hypothesis is that the alternative hypothesis. We don't look at the null hypothesis. We look at the alternate hypothesis. Sports performance will be increased by taking caffeine. We want to compare these two groups, and we say that the group with caffeine performance will be better than those who do not take caffeine. So you compare these two groups, whether it's significant or not. So you're going to measure your sport performance. For group A, they run 100 meters, shoot, pew, boom, okay, then you record. Then group B, pew, pew, boom, okay, then you record. And then you compare their result. Compare whether these two groups actually give you different. Someone says something, you're superior. Superior, it's not you think you know sick, then you become no sick. Not like medicine, then no sick. Superior, 这个哲理很深奥，我有病好，我不能够 interpret 你的东西，对不起。Let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Now this is the result that you are going to see after you run the test. You're going to see the independent sample t-test. And then you are going to see your significant. This one. Equal variances assume and equal variances not assume. If you look at the SIG for the total SIG, this is the t-test for equality of means. This one, respiratory exchange ratio is the variable that they measure actually. They measure how fast is your the breath that you take, respiratory exchange ratio, how fast respiratory exchange ratio. I think so. Okay. So they measure this for two big groups, and then they compare whether there's any difference between these two groups, right? Then the result here shows the F should be larger than 1, SIG should be smaller than 0.05. But this one is in the Nova here. We take a look at this SIG total here. The SIG total here, both the result shows not significant, and therefore you can conclude that there is no difference between those who take caffeine and those who do not take caffeine. That's how you interpret the result. Okay? Statistically not significant, so there is no difference. Can you tell me whether you should reject or accept alternate hypothesis? Should you accept or reject alternate hypothesis? Should you accept or reject? Look to mine. No. Okay, Jason, thank you very much. We should reject it. Then how about null hypothesis? How about null hypothesis? Yes, accept. You're still there. Okay. The last t-test is called PET sample t-test. PET sample t-test. So for example, you're going to change your diet with rubber X and with rubber Y. And the alternate hypothesis is that there is a difference between the means of tires before and after changing the rubber material. There is a difference between the means of tire before and after changing the rubber material. Okay, so you're going to test it with rubber X and also test it with rubber Y. Both. And this is actually referring to the same group of people, but then they are taking first they're taking rubber X and you test the performance, and then after that they change with rubber Y and they test the performance. It's to compare two different tires, but then you are using them on the same set of car. Same batch of car, just that they are using for the first round they use rubber X, second round they use rubber Y. So you do not have two big groups, but then you have the same group, but you apply the different treatment on it. And you compare whether there's any difference on that. So this is also to compare, right? Compare difference. So that's why we use t-test to compare. Okay, this is the result. This is how it looks like. The result after you have run the PET sample t-test, and you also refer to this. Is significant? Does Y significantly different from X? Does rubber Y significantly different from X? Yes. And therefore, what should you do with your null hypothesis? Yes, reject null hypothesis and accept alternate hypothesis. Okay, now the next thing that we'll have to do, we'll just do a very quick revise on revision of what we have done. We have looked at the first data transformation or data pre-processing. And we look at the first one to compare the difference. We look at we have covered the t-test. The t-test to compare the difference, and there are three different t-tests. But before you do that, if you create your own questionnaire, you need to conduct compare alpha. New questionnaire, you will need to use compare alpha. Then t-test will have one sample t-test, independent two sample t-test, and pair sample t-test. Okay, one sample t-test, independent two sample t-test, and pair sample t-test. One sample t-test, you take one group only, but you're going to compare them with one standard measurement. You compare this group of sample with one then independent two sample tests, you have two different group of people, two different group of samples. You give them different treatment, and then you compare their result. Paired sample test, you have only one group, but you give them treatment A, and then later on different treatment B. Then you compare treatment A and treatment B, which one is better? Okay. Any question before I move on? No question. I have a question. In the midterm test, you will be given scenario, and then you choose which data analysis for, right? So I'm going to give you a scenario. Our research method lecture is conducted hybridly, right? In hybrid mode. Okay. And now the lecturer would like to find out whether those attend online learn better than those attend offline. So the lecturer is going to take the results and compare their results. Their midterm test results. Those who learn online versus those who learn offline. If those offline perform better than online, then I'll ask all those online to come back after the midterm test. Oh, great. Okay, good. Now let's see. Which type of test should the lecturer run in the analysis? 1, 2, 3. Those online. 1, 2, 3. One sample test. 2, 3 for better comparison. 2. Okay, the correct answer is 2. Independent two sample test because we have two different groups. For number 1 and number 3. Number 3 means those online, you have to come back for another 6 weeks time, repeat the same lecture. So for 14 weeks, I need to conduct 28 weeks of lecture. Because you have to attend 14 weeks of online, you sit for midterm test, and then you come back for another 14 weeks of offline, and you sit for midterm test. If the school can pay me for 38 hours, I'll be more than happy to come back. Because 1 hour is 110. I don't know how 2,000 plus, 3,000 and wow. Yes, more than willing to conduct that. Research, just for research purpose. If you are going to use number 3, pairs and multi test. Not possible. You can carry the previous learning because you have learned online for the previous 14 weeks to the next 14 weeks. Yes, you're right. That is under the what is that? Validity test. Validity threat to validity, threat to internal validity. That is another chapter. You are ahead of us, Brandon. So those who are here offline learn better than online because Brandon is ahead of you. Oh, he has already gone to I don't know which Mars, which planet already. That one is chapter 9 or chapter 10. I don't know. Okay, let's I'm breathless already. Let's call it a day. I will give you the attendance now. Class rep, can you please mark the attendance now? Can you WhatsApp to me who is here and who is not here? Yes. What's your class? 924103. Where's my attendance from RSW group 1? Are we all present from RDS? Ryan group? What is it? Oh, there. Oh. RT. RT is missing. Oh, is your class rep?